Good evening to viewers. Welcome to join us. Political parties to run for the twin elections in Cameroon have one more week to woo potential voters, and participants here in the economic capital Douala are saying that they are set for September 30th. And also in this newscast, we take you to a locality in Fumban to take a look at the deplorable learning conditions of pupils of government primary school Kuptama, classes without benches and a single teacher for the entire institution. These are headlines, details and more just in a moment. Good evening to once again viewers. Welcome back from the weekend. You are watching the 6 p.m. newscast on Equinox Television. Let's begin right away in the west region of Cameroon. Pupils of government primary school Kuptama in Fumban continue to study in makeshift classrooms despite calls for government assistance. Teachers are complaining that the few structures that have been the few structures that are existing in the said institution were single-handedly constructed by parents. Let's have the details of that report with Pamela.
The presence of the divisional officer of Jingombe Fumban Division to the campus of the said government primary school was very important to the parents and authorities who felt it was an opportunity for them to present their numerous challenges. The duo's visit was purposely to listen to the cry of the Mbororos of that locality, who said it was high time their school is constructed. Created since 7 years ago, the school has been suffering from poor infrastructure, and the inhabitants of that locality explained the problem was taken to the mayor, who made an attempt to come with a contractor, promised the villagers she will come back for the work to be done, and never showed up.
The mayor was the one responsible for organizing completion of the construction. He assigned a contractor to carry out the work, but did not pay him so he could commence with the construction. When the mayor left, the contractor also abandoned the project because he had no money to carry out the work.
The head teacher complains of the lack of teachers in the school and says he is the only person as of now teaching the pupils. Inhabitants of that locality pleaded that the government officials and candidates vying for posts in this year's legislative and municipal election to come to their aid to see that the school building is constructed.
Now that municipal and parliamentary election campaigns are underway, I hope the candidates take note of the problem. They should try to make sure the construction project is realized.
In the meantime, the school authorities say the children will be transferred to a private school where 3 classes have been offered to them for free while waiting for the construction work to be done.
And it is not the only school with that same problem. It is back to school to GBSS Banga Pongo. Form 1 students of the said institution are now bracing up to start classes this week on Wednesday, precisely over 3 weeks after school resumption. At least 21 students wrote the concours d'entrée en sixième that was at the weekend, and 21 students answered, or pupils rather, answered present. Pamela Ndukong traveled to Banga Pongo and brought back the following report.
After walking through a journey of 7 kilometers from the main junction, we caught up with the candidates in the examination center who have been writing for the past 30 minutes. They started at 8 a.m. and by 9 a.m. the test was done. The pupils were evaluated on subjects like comprehension, history, geography, science, civic education and hygiene. 1 hour later, the results came out and were read according to merit. Worthy of note is the fact that the first 6 of these pupils were all females. Yeah. We also spoke to some parents and well-wishers of the GBSS Banga Pongo who expressed joy and satisfaction, saying that their children will finally start school and the nightmare of walking on long distances to go to other schools will be no more.
For a long time, we were waiting for the school here, because we have some of our children who going too far place to go to school. For this moment, as we have our bilingual college here, government college here, we are very, very, very satisfied.
The principal of the school, Mr. Akonu Emmanuel, recalls some of the challenges the school is still facing, like lack of benches, no blackboards, and other school equipment. He pleads for the government assistance to see that the school is well equipped. 25th of September is the resumption date for the students of the GBSS Bangabongo, who of course are going to start the academic year with some sport exercises.
And just to note that the 25th of September, it is going to be the day after tomorrow. That's going to be on Wednesday. Meantime, the mortal remains of the lead police officer, Mr. Ngando Felix, that was murdered in Toktoyo, that's the border town between Cameroon and the Central African Republic, have been laid to rest. The burial took place at the weekend in Buruku in Konsamba, as for Hansen tells us in the following report.
It was in this sad atmosphere that families, friends and sympathizers of late Grade 2 police officer bid final goodbye to him as the ground of Morocco in Melon received his lifeless body at the weekend.
Je dis merci à tout le monde.
The wife of late Ngando Felix, while appreciating the works of her late husband's friends, solicit that the state should not forget the fact that the husband left behind 5 children who will need some care. The Secretary General for National Security, Ndoke Victor, representing the Delegate General, said Ndale Ngando Felix died as a hero while serving his nation.
En service commandé le 19 août 2013 à Toktoyo.
The late police officer was conferred an exceptional title of Commissioner and given a Medal of National Order of Valor. The burial ceremony of Ngando Felix was witnessed with huge deployment of police officers and a conspicuous absence of delegation from the Central African Republic. As police forces conducted the burial ritual, everyone present paid last respect to the fallen man in uniform. Ngando Felix Ndale was murdered in cold blood while on duty at the age of 48 on August 19 by purported Seleka rebels of the Central African Republic at the boundary between Cameroon and the Sierra in Toktoyo in the East region. He leaves behind 5 children, a wife, family members, friends, well wishers to mourn his departure.
And the detained former Minister of Territorial Administration and Decentralization, Marafa Hamidou Yahya, writes another letter. This time he addresses political actors in the country and potential voters. Marafa Hamidou Yahya, in the 7th epistle, expresses doubts over the ability of ELECAM to organize a free and transparent elections in the country. The embattled former Secretary of State at the Presidency of the Republic said that Cameroonians should not expect any reforms from the head of state, and that a social upheaval is imminent in Cameroon after the Biya regime. And a brief note, as we announced in the headlines before we take you to news out of Cameroon, political parties are by now bracing up. They have 1 week to end their campaigns ahead of the twin elections billed for the 30th of September 2013. To many of them, they are set for the September 30th event. In news out of Cameroon, suspected Al-Shabaab militants have gone into their 3rd day of sitting at the Nairobi, Kenya Westgate shopping mall, and gunfire have continued since early this morning, with the death toll standing at 69. Let's have an update of the Kenyan crisis with Franz Venkat.
There were some exchanges of fire this morning, the heaviest occurring at around 6:30 local time. That went on for about 5 minutes. Since then, I've heard sporadic gunfire on a couple of occasions, but not as intense as the events that occurred at 6:30 in the morning. To the best of our knowledge, the situation is obviously still ongoing, with hostages still held inside the building by the Al-Shabaab militants, although we don't know how many hostages are still held. The Red Cross are saying that the number of missing persons is now recorded at 63. That's up from 49. But that number doesn't necessarily correspond to the number of hostages, because obviously some of those people may have been killed.
Now, Duncan, a group of Islamists from Somalia who have been linked to Al-Qaeda, as you said, are claiming responsibility for this attack. What more do we know exactly about this group and what they want?
Still in news out of Cameroon, Angela Merkel has been re-elected for a third term as Chancellor of Germany. Voter polling on Sunday confirmed that German citizens were contented with her administration as the Christian Democratic Union, that is the CDU, secured 41.5% of the votes. Let's have the details once again with Franz Verkat.
The results are in, and they add up to success once again for Angela Merkel. The CDU-CSU alliance pulled in 41.5% of the votes, meaning no absolute majority, but a guaranteed return to the Chancellor's office, something her supporters were keen to celebrate.
It's too early to say exactly how we will proceed. We'll discuss everything in full tomorrow when the final results are confirmed. But tonight we'll celebrate, because we've run a great campaign.
It's the Conservative bloc's best result in 23 years, finishing just 5 seats short of an overall majority. Despite the scale of the win, governing won't be easy, especially as her traditional coalition partners crashed out of the Bundestag, failing to win any seats for the first time since 1949. The shock defeat of the FDP means she may need to seek a grand coalition with the rival SPD party.
The situation is very unclear, so the SPD will not engage in speculation about the next government. The ball is in Frau Merkel's court. She has to get herself a majority.
Another possible but less likely alliance would be with the Greens. Either way, Merkel faces several weeks of difficult negotiations, which may force her to adopt more left-leaning policies in her third term of office.
And that does it for this edition of the Primetime Newscast on Equinox Television. Tonight, we took a look at political parties that are having one more week to woo potential voters ahead of the twin elections in the country. And to some participants here in the economic capital, Douala, they are set for the September 30th event. And also in this newscast, we also took you to the town of Kuptama, that is in Fumban in the west region of the country, to take a look at the deplorable learning conditions of pupils of the government primary school of that particular locality. No benches at all and just a single teacher for the entire institution. We thank you so much for having joined us. Just in few minutes from now, we shall be joining Roland Akon with our special Municipal and Legislative 2013 program. Good evening to you once again, and have a wonderful stay in the company of our program.